Hello, everybody. Welcome to Now and Them. I am your host, Julia Jornse Silverberg, and I'm the brand manager at Now Marketing Group. And this is my co-host, Andreas Medina. And this is our monthly live show where we bring you behind the keyboard to bring you breaking news, tips, tools to really help you up your digital marketing game, all while having a lot of fun. So, Andreas, how's your week going? How are you?
Oh, November started hot for me. I'm feeling very productive and very active this week. I don't know if it's because I've been going to bed earlier or something, but I've been feeling very productive. November has started pretty hot, and I'm super excited to share all the knowledge or all the content we have for all of our viewers right now here in the show.
Yeah, we have a really exciting episode planned for you guys. And maybe, Andres, maybe why you're feeling so amped is as a team, we started a step challenge in November. We're all getting our steps in. We're feeling good. We're kicking the month off on a really, really good note. And our goal in doing this show with you guys is to be a voice and a sounding board. We are here for you, social media managers, because we want you to know that you're not alone in the wild world of social media. So, Andreas, are you ready to kick off today's episode? Because I'm so excited.
Let's get after it. Let's get started.
Okay, today we're going to talk all about how to be a successful social strategist. We want to dive into really what it looks like to plan, execute, and excel your social strategy so that you can drive real results. And at the heart of our conversation today is going to be the concept of how you can really express your creative freedom in your role, what tools you need to do your job well, and some tips that we think you need to know if you're an account manager or just getting started in the world of social media marketing. So, before we bring on our amazing special guest, Olivia Smith, let's dive into some news. Okay, so our first news story is all about Instagram. Instagram officially retired the IGTV brand, and they have moved all of the video into like one tab. So IGTV doesn't exist anymore, and this is really Instagram's move towards continuing to emphasize that short form, real style content. So Andreas, what do you think about this update?
I think that TikTok has been putting pressure on Instagram. Uh, m- seeing Instagram making this move is literally to compete directly with TikTok. Now, me personally, I was not a huge fan of IGTV, to be honest, because I like short videos. I don't like to wait 3 minutes to see what's the punchline or what's going to happen at the end of the video. I like short and sweet, and I mean, it's a double-edged sword since Instagram is also doing a lot of moves to help small business owners, and a small business owner definitely needs more than a minute to promote a product. But I guess we'll see what's going to happen in the future.
I love that. Yeah, no, and I really do. I love that short form content too. And I love seeing George Demanis pop in and say he wants to express his creative freedom, which he has been doing, by the way. You've been rocking that, George Demanis. So a little shout out over to you. So our second news story this week is this is Andreas's discovery. So I'm going to let him kind of dive into it with you guys. But basically, there's a collaboration going on between Ray-Ban and Facebook. So Andreas, tell me a little bit about this.
So I first saw this and I didn't believe it. I thought it was a joke. As I was walking through New York, I saw a huge banner that said Ray-Ban X Facebook, all red, just sunglasses. I'm like, Facebook sunglasses? Like, what? And ideally, you'll think that Facebook will probably make a collaboration with some other brand to create maybe a smartwatch to compete with Apple and any other smartwatch company, maybe Fitbit. Um, and I don't know, it caught my attention. I did my research and found out that Ray-Ban and Facebook got together to create this amazing sunglasses that have little cameras on the sides. Yeah, there's a picture of them. And with a special app from Facebook, or I mean, I guess we should call it Meta now. I saw it on Instagram today when I opened it up. It says "Owned by Meta." Um, but you can, with a special app, you can stream live from those little cameras to whatever you're looking at. and I think this is a great tool for businesses that are trying to make life stories. There's Jessica. To make life stories that got me off. That's so funny. But I think of it for myself. Like I in my free time I like to install doors and windows, and most of the time I want to show people how it's done. And handling a power tool while holding a phone is not something that you should do, first of all, and it's not easy. So I think it'll be cool to have these sunglasses on and have people see what I'm watching from my point of view. So I think it was curious. I can't wait to try them. I don't know if I'm going to buy them. I'll probably just test them out in the store if I see them, but definitely something I want to test.
Totally. So you mentioned that Facebook, you said that maybe you thought Facebook would start out with like a watch. So what I am super curious to know from our audience, if Facebook were to collaborate with a watch brand, what watch brand would you want to see them collaborate with? Like, what brand would it have to be that you would be like, okay, I am totally going to go buy this watch? So let us know in the comments below, because we are super curious to know. So our next news story is LinkedIn is shutting down in China. Andreas, you want to?
It's shocking.
Yeah, right?
It's shocking news, and definitely, I mean, Microsoft apparently just got tired of all the special rules that China has for social media platforms. And I guess time will tell what the impact is going to be for the manufacturing sites, because I know a lot of people hate this controversial topic, but China is one of the powerhouses in manufacturing along with the US. And there's a lot of collaboration in there going. Like, you think Apple is from the US? No, their products are made in China. So, and that's just Apple that is big. There's a lot of small manufacturers that depend on China, and a lot of China manufacturers that depend on the US too. So I think this is going to affect the communication between these two manufacturing powerhouses in the world. But I guess time will tell. I'm sure the Asians will find some kind of VPN to block their location and still use LinkedIn. Or maybe another app will come out of nowhere, and then maybe Meta will work on a new app that is like a professional app like LinkedIn, but it will be available in China. I don't know. Time will tell, but I'm definitely going to keep an eye on it.
Definitely. It'll be really interesting to kind of see where this story evolves, and kind of if new apps, like you said, come out of a need for that kind of service because people can't access LinkedIn anymore. So probably my favorite story that we're going to share with you guys this week is the fact that Instagram just announced that they are rolling out the ability for everyone to add a link in their stories. And this is huge because you used to have 10,000 followers in order to get this functionality, but now there's no limit, there's no ceiling. You can access this functionality. I saw that we have it available in our Now account. So the link sticker is rolling out. If you don't have it yet, you will have it. Just be patient. That's kind of how Instagram tends to roll functionality out to different people. So I am super excited about this. So Andreas, I'm sure you're super excited. I'm sure there's so many opportunities with this for clients.
Yes, and this is part of that Instagram move for small business owners that maybe don't have the 10,000 followers like Walmart does, maybe, or any famous store, Target. They have they have so many extra features because they had a certain amount of followers, but those small business didn't have those features. So now that they have these features, it's going to be interesting how creative they can get with it on their stories. Me especially, I was not a fan of doing stories because we didn't have that link feature for a client that I have. They didn't have so many followers, and I didn't create stories with a call to action because we didn't have that link to send people to. So having this links is going to be interesting. I bet we're going to see more small businesses using it, and I believe there's a new feature too where Instagram is giving credit to the small businesses when someone shops on their platform.
Yeah, Yeah, Instagram is really trying to push people shopping on Instagram. That's, again, like you said, it's kind of tied together, right? They're like, okay, we're going to give you some credit to spend. We're also going to let anyone be able to link in their stories. So we are really seeing Instagram try to give more functionality to small businesses and creators, which is super exciting to see. And our last kind of news story, we really want to kind of share a little bit of what we think is coming up in the future as it relates to social media marketing. Because as we look towards the holidays and the new year, you can guarantee there are going to be tons of articles talking about predictions for 2022. And we are going to have a special episode of Magnet Marketers on November 30th, where we are going to dive into what we think and what some of our favorite friends in the industry think in regards to what is coming up in 2022. What are the big trends, the tools, some of the things we think are going to be super important in 2022 is a focus on e-commerce and the creation of personalized experiences for customers. Video is going to continue to be so important for marketers to start to use. And we think, just like we were talking about, with Instagram, we think we're going to see so many social media platforms continue to kind of roll out more functionality that allows creators to monetize on the platform. So what we want to know from you guys is, what are your predictions? What do you think is going to be big in 2022? What platforms, what tools, what trends? We want to know from you. So now we're going to get into some shout outs. We want to spread some love. So we are going to dive right in to some shout outs. We want to shout you out. We want to shine a light on you. So chime in if you are celebrating something, because we want to be able to celebrate with you. Like maybe you've got a birthday like John has. It is John's birthday today, so that's very exciting. Angela and OG on our team just celebrated their 1 year now anniversaries. Amber has a birthday coming up at the end of the month. So if you guys have something that you're celebrating, if you have something exciting going on in your world, we want to know about it. Andreas, are you celebrating anything? What's new in your world?
Yes, I do want to give a shout out. I mean, I don't think he's watching. He's pretty old. He doesn't deal with technology. But my grandpa, his birthday is tomorrow, and we're actually celebrating it tonight. And yeah, shout out to my grandpa. His name is Carmelo Lopez. And actually, I don't even know how old he's turning, but he's pretty old and he's pretty healthy. So I'm grateful to God for that, and shout out to him for another year of life.
Happy birthday. I love it. Yeah. Oh my God. This is so great. I love it. So if you guys are celebrating something, we want to shout you out. We want you to know that we are in that celebratory spirit with you. So yeah, we just hope you guys are having a great start to the month, and we are very, very excited about the guests that we have. But before we get into it, we want to let you guys know that we are accepting applications to speak at Social Media Week Lima 2022. Our theme for this year is going to be co-create. So if you think you would make for a great fit as a speaker around that topic, we would absolutely love for you to apply. We will put the link for how to apply right in the comments. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. We are here to talk about it with you. But if you think you'd be a good speaker, we want to hear from you. And let's look at the conference, right? Like, let's see exactly what you're going to get into in June, because we are very excited.
Social Media Week Lima. I am so excited. Your message is bigger than your product. What are they connecting with about us as a brand? What is our message that they're aligning with?
Absolutely love it. I've walked away with so many great ideas.
By far, the best run event that I've been to.
That's the key. Focusing on the people that you've already won, that already love you, and just empower them to want to do more.
Events like this really give us the opportunity to come together, to meet, to make connections, to build relationships that we can take forward and use 365 days a year.
Oh, y'all, I hate boring. It is my goal in life to make sure that y'all leave here with a plan.
We can't tell stories that matter until we understand that consumer. We understand how they feel. Because we need to care about each other. We need to care about our consumers. And we need to show we care in everything that we do.
Hey, yeah.
You are worthy of the challenge of being an entrepreneur. You are worthy of making the world a better place.
We are very excited because we have a very special guest today. We have Olivia Smith, our account manager. We are so excited to bring her on.
Hi,
Olivia.
how are you? Oh my gosh, I am so excited for this month's episode. And thank you guys for having me. I was backstage just watching you guys the whole time, like, oh my gosh, yes, I love the news. I love everything that's happening. So I just can't wait to dive in and tackle the topic of how to be a successful social strategist.
Well, we are so happy that you're here. You have such bubbly energy. I freaking love our weekly brainstorm calls. So this feels like a little bit of an extension of that. So why don't you introduce yourself to our audience? Tell everyone a little bit about yourself and your role at Now.
So I'm one of the account managers at Now, along with Andreas Medina. So he's one of my amazing team members there. So I also, besides being an account manager, client facing, I force my coworkers to do TikToks and dress up on our Friday wrap up calls. They love when I make them dress up and answer silly questions about each other. So that's just kind of my role at Now. I've been there for 2.5 years now. It's crazy. I think like, oh, yesterday I just started. Don't think 2.5 years actually happened yet, but love my Now family there.
Well, we love you. I mean, you make our Nowie calls so much fun. For those of you guys who don't know, every Friday we have a super fun meeting where we give each other shout outs, give some love to each other and recognize each other for what we did that week. And Olivia makes it so much more fun because she adds themes and fun questions, and it is just such a fun way to end the week. So we love you, Olivia, and we love our Nowie calls. So let's get into it a little bit. We're going to get into the nitty gritty. So my first question for you is, what are some of the most frequently asked questions that you get either from clients or from peers, your fellow social media marketers?
Ooh, so I have a couple for each. So from clients, it's all about what trends we're seeing and how their businesses can fit into those trends. I know Social Media Week Lima 21 for us, it was all about being unfiltered and how you show up unfiltered in social media digital marketing. So an example of that was one of my dentist office. I mean, you can promote scheduling appointments, all of that, but putting real faces after those appointments, after you see a little kid after their first cleaning, just smiling ear to ear, just giving that unfiltered approach to marketing is kind of what we're seeing trend wise. And then also, I know next year we have co-create as our theme, and we are definitely seeing that trend come up. I know for an example of that was another one of our clients, not one of mine, one of my coworker Jen's clients. They're collabing with a coffee shop for a brew with coffee in it. So it's just crazy to think that the businesses, they're not necessarily in the exact same industry, but you can co-create and collaborate with anybody in the industries that fits your brand culture and your theme. So just those are a couple of the trends I am seeing, and those are the questions I'm having from clients. But also, how are these changes with Google and Facebook going to affect them and the vanity metrics and just general traffic and building that way? So using your team members to harness that, get the research out there, just kind of creating the knowledge of the trends that are coming up as well. So from my peers, I'm seeing of how do you balance workload with creativity wise? I know I have a dentist office client. I also have a client that does construction. Two different things. I mean, you're technically working on the same, like you're working, doing the physical labor, but not the same. So how do you balance the creativity for that and create the posts and things like that? I love spreadsheets. So that's That's kind of my bread and butter with it, and just creating a routine and organization for you as you're processing through the month and planning out. Yes, nerd alert.
Nerd alert is right. This girl loves a spreadsheet. She loves a spreadsheet. Like, give Olivia a spreadsheet. She's like, thank you.
Color code, we're good. We'll put little filters in. We love it. So just kind of organizing and planning ahead is one way as like a peer to balance everything, and getting a game plan for yourself. And we'll touch on this a little bit. I think a question coming up, but game plan for yourself and just organization is one way to like balance it all.
I love that. I love that so much. Yes, columns and rows, they make me smile. Andreas, do you have what are some of the questions that you feel like you've been getting asked a lot?
So there's in this position that we work, we hear all kinds of questions, like even questions that when they asked us, we're like, we'll get back to you with an answer, because they're endless. But I guess the most frequently asked question that I've gotten lately is, how do I reach more people? How do I get people to come work for us? And this is something a lot of businesses, especially small businesses, are facing now with labor shortage. And they want to use social media to attract potential candidates to fill out those positions. And with most of them, we have worked a strategy where we show more of the culture, not what you're selling, not what your brand, what you're trying to get out to the public, is to show your company culture, how the environment is, how everyone gets along. And we've seen a lot of clients buying into that philosophy that Jessica Phillips always preach of relationship marketing and building relationships with your community, not just the clients. And I've seen a lot of clients just buying into that now. And I'll have to say, Olivia, what she just said about being organized, I have to mention, she is the most organized individual I have met in my life. Not gonna lie. But yeah, that's the most frequently asked question I've gotten lately. Other common questions I get is like, how can we get ranked on Google to stand out and just be at the top of the search? Or how do I know what my competitors are doing? And there's tools for that online, which we'll leave for another episode.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. But yeah, those are some of the most common questions I've gotten.
I love it. And yeah, you guys, seriously, like we're trying to get you guys to fully understand how organized Olivia is and how much she loves spreadsheets, but we just can't speak to it enough because it really is a true passion. So we're gonna keep hammering it home so that you can truly understand. This girl lives and breathes herself a spreadsheet. So Olivia, I want to know.
Didn't she make our walking challenge?
Everything's in a spreadsheet. Everything's in a spreadsheet. It's like, it could maybe be an email, but no, don't worry. Olivia's got a spreadsheet for that. It's like, it could be a Post-it note. Nope, I've got a spreadsheet for this. Spreadsheets on spreadsheets on spreadsheets.
She's awesome.
We do it all. Spreadsheets, Post-its, what do you need? We got it all covered.
I feel like you probably, like me, loved school supply shopping. Olivia, was that your jam? You loved back to school supply shopping?
Yes, like just the whole like, getting excited, fresh notebooks thing. Like now, if first day of school, I'd be like, do I have to wake up and go? But I'll drop after this. I'll send a picture in the comments of what our step challenge one looks like. But like asking me to go the first day, I'd be like, but the school supplies that go into it, yes, love it. Planners, 10 out of 10.
I love it. So Olivia, tell me about one of your biggest client wins recently.
Ooh, so I'd have to say one of my biggest client wins would have to be, again, my dentist office. They're going to be my reoccurring example during this whole thing. We all know about dentists. So before COVID, we were trying to get them to share office pictures out and get the community awareness, that unfiltered look. So COVID hit and they couldn't practice or have appointments for 3 months. 3 months of service was just out the window. So you couldn't post about scheduling appointments. So we shifted it to show us what you're doing at home. So we had the hygienists, the office staff, the doctors send in pictures of activities they were doing if they went to a park or just activities they were doing around their house. I know one hygienist, she had boxes of film that she needed to go through. They were going through like old memories at her parents' house, and just her having the time to sit down and look at everything. She sent a snapshot in, but showing that relatability that everybody was going through it, and your familiar face that you see back in your normal life before COVID when everything was, appointments, doctor's appointments, things like that, kind of made it all normal. And hey, we're going with it with you. So just the buy-in that our staff was willing to send in pictures with it, but also it was close to Easter and a doctor had found on Pinterest a fun craft to do with her kids. We shared out the Pinterest article that they were doing, and the doctor shared a picture of what her kids made. And so we were promoting it that way as well. So yes, always be human in everything.
Yes.
That was one of my wins there. And it definitely has carried over. So we're getting more office shares out of them too. So I love that. All good, unfiltered.
That is such a good success story, seriously. And you guys can apply this to your specific brand, regardless of what industry you're in, bringing that humanity front and center. We want to see your team, right? This is partially why we're doing this show. We're here, we want to learn, we want to see your team. Like, these are the things that we know do well on social media. So I love that success story. So I have a question for you, which is, and I actually want both of you guys to answer this, which is, what's the best piece of advice, like one tip that you'd give someone that is just starting out as an account manager? Olivia, you go first, and then Andreas.
Ooh, this is a good one. I would have to say, find your own routine. So like, even though Andreas and I are both account managers at the same agency, we know what we have to get done, but the path to get there is different for both of us. It's whatever works best for you. And you can ask your team what they suggest or what their best practices are, but you can also ask community members, like peers online, hey, this is what I'm working on, or I want to implement this into our schedule. Ask them how they do it and find out what works best for you, because you're not going to do it the same as everybody else. You're your own person, you're your own individual. What works best for you? Because Andres isn't going to, spreadsheet. Andres isn't going to pull out a spreadsheet to do something, I don't think. But I did. So it's
not
different.
at all.
Yeah. So Andreas, what's like your number one tip?
So piggyback of what Olivia just said, find your routine. We all have different routines. And part of that is being organized. So having that schedule, like at the beginning of the month, I'm going to work on reports, build them out, just take a whole Monday for it, then take Tuesday for the analysis, and they use the Wednesday for meetings. Whatever works best for you. And the way I do it, and I'm sure there's a few of the account managers that do make it this way, to build content, is that I like to create images before caption. And I don't know if any other account manager does this, but I'm a huge believer that the caption has to be tied up to the image. Like they go together, they're going to be posting together. And I like to see the visual first so I can get the inspiration to work on the caption. So that's one way. And then my other tip is communication. Just build that great communication with your clients. It doesn't have to be all emails. Like, either text them, give them a random phone call, and it's not all have to be business. You can call them, just be like, hey, how you doing this week? Good. What's happening in the office? Good. And just staying in touch with them is going to give you more room for creativity and like knowing what's happening with the business. So be organized and stay communicated with your client or whoever you're working with.
I love that. These are both really, really good pieces of advice. So if you guys are just getting started, and yes, Jessica, like, read your posts out loud. If it does not sound natural, if it doesn't sound smooth, if it doesn't sound like your brand, change it up, because you want to make sure that you are speaking to your ideal audience. So you guys are dropping gold for our audience, and we're just going to continue going into it, because the next thing that I want you guys to share with me, I want each of you to share. I know that every single social media manager is going to care about this. We want to know, what is your top tool?
I'm excited about this one.
Ooh,
You go first, Olivia.
Let's
Okay.
hear it out.
So I think we already did with all my spreadsheet talk there and organization. I have two of them that are my bread and butter that you need as a social media manager. First one, Agora Pulse. You can get your reports in there. You can respond to messages. You can schedule. You can do social listening. There's so many features in Agora Pulse that they make it easy for you to just schedule and get your items knocked off your list. They also have an app that you can have on your phone, but also one thing that I love is, since we are an agency, we're able to join the Agency Love Facebook group. So they're always in there updating everything, and it's a great community to ask questions. Or if Agora Pulse, let's say something there's new updates coming out, and I'm going to tell you which one I'm really excited about, the Google My Business one that they're integrating in there, so you can post to Google My Business. I cannot wait till that officially drops. That's on my top list for to complete in 2021, updates that we have coming. But just the convenience in Agora Pulse, I love it. My next one is Facebook Business Suite Manager app, whatever it is. I think it's Suite. Again, another app you can have on your phone. So if you're on the run, you can respond to comments, or if you're at an event, you can go in there and answer those questions at your event, and you don't have to worry about getting your laptop out and finding a table to set it on and typing your response out. You can do it all from your phone, and that's for Facebook and Instagram under the metaverse of life that they created. So I just love those two apps. Those are my favorites.
Love it.
I feel like Andreas, we're gonna know his answers. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Let's see. Andreas, top tool.
So, okay, I'm sure everyone knows this, but I'm gonna get started. Yes, Agora Pulse is in there because without Agora Pulse, I can't actually do nothing for work. I mean, I'll have to go keep an eye natively every minute, visit profile by profile, air conditioning. Yeah, it's hot in here. But yeah, Agora Pulse, like Olivia mentioned, you have all of your clients, and I even have some of Olivia's clients on my Agora Pulse profile, all the DDS, because when she's not working, I can watch her accounts from that platform. And if someone has any question, like if they get an inbox message, a comment, any kind of communication that needs a response, you can do it through Agora Pulse. And I like that. I also like the feature that they have for listening, where you can use keywords and listen to the conversations that have those keywords online on social media. It's good for engagement. And I guess my second tool is the big debate between Wave and Canva. But I love creating videos on Wave Video, but I'll have to go with Canva, because without Canva, I can't actually create my images, and I can actually make videos in Canva too. So it's a win-win. But yeah, definitely Canva. Canva with the templates, and it's a billion of different options. You just get creative to make these images. It's visuals that I love because I'm a very visual person, like I mentioned always.
Totally.
So yeah, I'll go with Canva and Agora Pulse.
I love it. Well, you guys, if you guys want to make sure that you get a recap, we are going to be recapping all of the goodness, all the tools that we are talking about in a blog post for you. So all you guys have to do is type the word recap in the comments, and you will get subscribed to our blog so you do not miss out, so that you can dive into all of these tools that we've been sharing with you guys, and dive into some tips and tricks too, because I think Miss Olivia has a little hack for us. Speaking of Canva, Olivia's got a fun little hack for us. So Olivia, tell us a little bit about what it is that we're going to show everyone, because we're only going to show you guys a very, very brief sneak peek, and we are going to post the full tutorial that Olivia prepared on our Facebook page at 5:30 p.m. today. So make sure you're following us if you're not on Facebook, so that you can get this full tutorial from Olivia. But tell us what you're going to show us.
So we know Instagram and Linktree aren't best friends right now, because it'll mess up your profile when you're putting those links in your bio. But we figured out a hack in Canva where you can create a link landing page that's branded towards you. So it's not just the basic link tree with the boxes and the text. So you can put your branding style on it and it still does the same functionality though for you. So I know we did it for a couple clients for Now's page. Our branding is those triangles at the bottom with the white globe. We were able to add that on our link landing page that we weren't able to do with Linktree because again, Linktree is kind of vanilla in the design scape. So you had to spice it up a little bit, but you can do it all through Canva and add any branding that you want, but still have that same functionality. You can also make images clickable too. Fun fact, we'll find that out in this video that's coming out at 5:30 though, as well. So what you're going to want to do is go to your Canva account and type in Instagram bio link. And it's going to bring up these templates for you. Now, these are perfectly formatted for that Linktree style setup within your Instagram page. So we are going to be making one for Social Media Week Lima. So as you're looking through the templates, you're going to find one that fits your brand theme best. Now, mind you, you got to personalize it a little bit, but you have to figure out that theme style you want. I love this setup right here. So we're going to get to editing and make it now Social Media Week Lima theme ready to roll.
So if you guys want to see what Olivia did and all of the steps, we are going to post that at 5:30. So be sure to check it out. So before we get into the super fun part, I know everyone's here for the games. We're all here to have some fun. And well, we're here to learn, but we're also here to have fun. The game is my favorite part. So before we dive into it, I want you guys to just if you could just sum it up a little bit, give one other little tidbit or takeaway for our audience. Olivia, you go first.
Go first, Olivia.
So I have a couple. One would be find your routine. So find what works best for you and what works best for your client. Again, not everybody's going to be the same when it comes to it. So just find your routine and you can change it as it comes up or as tricks come out, you can incorporate it, but find your routine and be you when it comes to it. Next is be flexible. So we all know inauguration, Mr. Bernie Sanders was sitting there with his little mittens and his mask on. No one knew that was coming out. That was in nobody's social plans. But if you were on social media that evening or the next day, everybody had a Bernie Sanders meme. Did anybody plan that? No. You have to be flexible and adaptable. What's going on in the world? And then the final thing, join groups and communicate with peers. So Facebook groups, LinkedIn groups, just join them, attend live things like this or live trainings, create that network, because if you do have questions or if a new trend is coming or want to provide helpful insights, you can do it all in that same space and not have to answer those questions by yourself or return to trusty Google. How do you ... Fill in the blank.
I'm so glad you mentioned Facebook groups because that's actually my first tip. There's never a wrong question, and Facebook has so many incredible tools. I don't know how much percent of Facebook the average user uses, but there's so many tabs on Facebook, and if you use them all, you're going to discover amazing features. And one of these amazing features is that Facebook groups. Find Facebook groups. Take the time to do your own research and find a Facebook group either related to the industry of your clients or any account manager community Facebook group and ask questions because there's never a wrong answer. A wrong question.
I'm pretty sure there's some wrong answers out there.
Yeah, but there's never wrong questions. That's funny. But yeah, there's never a wrong question. Getting these groups, and if you have any questions, just ask it because someone else might have the same question as you, and they don't even know it. So that's what's funny about it. I've been in so many Facebook groups, and I see that someone posts a question, and I'm like, I don't know. I can't wait to see the answer. Sometimes I just comment so I can follow up the trend. So that's my very first tip. If you're C or D, pick one. No, correct. Yeah, these are all of them. And my last tip, this is one of the tips that Jessica gave me when I first started at Now, and I'm never going to forget about this tip.
You sure you don't want to save this for the end? We're gonna have you drop a little value bomb at the end too. You want to save it?
I'll save it. Yeah, I'll save it.
Okay.
I'll stay tuned to the end of the video.
I'm like, I want the
This is
best
gonna
one
be
saved for the end, please.
Stay tuned to the end of the video to listen to Jessica's tip to Andres on his very first week working for Now.
I love it. Okay, because it's game time. I'm ready to play some games. Okay, so we are going to do 2 different games today. We're going to start out with some social media manager trivia. So, Andreas, I'm going to have some questions for you. Olivia, I'm going to have some questions for you. So, Olivia, my first question for you is, what famous chicken company went viral after running out of chicken? Was it KFC, Popeyes, or Chick-fil-A?
KFC.
How and why do you know this?
Okay, I'm going to expose myself and we're going to get real here on this live video because why not? It's going to be bad. So in college, like KFC's little famous bowls were my comfort food. So like if you had a bad day at class or like an exam, go get a bowl. Why not? And so my family's running joke would be like, oh, you're going to go hang out with your boyfriend tonight? By that mean like, oh, you're going to go get a KFC bowl? And I was like, no, he's my husband. Colonel Sanders is my husband. And it's like a running joke.
I'm going to be honest. I knew that was coming. That's so hilarious.
I'm exposing myself. It's fine. So there's that. I know who made that. So we're going to do payback to who that person that made that. We'll have to create something for you. But
okay, well, since you exposed yourself, it's only fair. Andreas, what was your college comfort food? We all got to share now.
Beat up Buffalo Wild Wings. I'll be there like every Sunday to church on a Thursday to eat my boneless wings because they were half price or 60 cents. I don't know. They changed that over time, but I think they saw a loss on their didn't see any profit every time I went there because I ate so many wings every Thursday. But yeah, Buffalo Wild Wings boneless wings was my comfort food, and I wish we had Buffalo Wild Wings in Puerto Rico. And unfortunately, there's not that many places that have boneless wings, and they're my favorite.
So wait, yeah. It's not Panda Express at all. Like
that's
not at all.
All right, so let's get this straight right now.
Winless Enrico.
Wild Wings was my college comfort food.
Fair.
My current comfort food is Chinese. Now, it could be any local Chinese restaurant. It could be homemade. It could be Panda Express. I do not care. I'm a super fan of Asian food. And I'm going to eat Asian food forever until I visit Asia and probably realize that's not actually their food. But I like the Asian food from this side of the world, I guess.
I love this. We need to know, you guys. You need to comment. This is a sharing circle now. We want to know, what was your favorite college or current comfort food?
I feel like we need to expose you, Julia, too. What was your favorite college comfort food?
I was a Crunchwrap Supreme gal. I would go to Taco Bell. This was pre-celiac Julia. This was pre-gluten-free Julia. This was before I knew that was actually killing me. And I would go to Taco Bell and I would eat that Crunchwrap Supreme and be the happiest version of myself. So that was the college comfort food. And then in college, I got diagnosed with celiac and had to say goodbye to Crunchwrap Supreme. So if anyone wants to make me a gluten-free Crunchwrap Supreme, you will become my immediate best friend, and the rest will be history. Okay.
That's awesome.
Okay, so my next question for you, Olivia, is I'm not giving you any options here. You just need to know this. This is like a social media person must know. Is what color was the dress?
Okay, so my first answer when I saw the first picture was white and gold, but I saw another picture that was blue and black. And if you looked up the hashtag, people were filtering the pictures. And I was like, wait a minute. This is why there's a huge fight in the world, because you're doing this. Let's not. But it was white and gold, 100%. White and gold.
I agree. Absolutely white and gold.
It was definitely white and gold. Whoever sees blue and black, I don't know. You're need glasses, I guess. And sorry if you saw the blue and black.
Absolutely. Okay, guys, we're going to go into like a quick, speedy round here. We're going to do these. We've got some fast questions that we're going to ask. So, Olivia, this one's for you. What year was Facebook invented? 2002, 2004, 2006, or 2007?
So not 6 or 7. 2002 was too early because we had those like thick phones still, and like I don't think we could have functioned like Facebook. I'm gonna go 2004.
Ding, 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 ding. You are correct. Andreas, your turn. How long can a video that is posted to LinkedIn be? 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or 30 minutes?
Okay, so this is funny because I actually was scheduling videos last week for a client to their LinkedIn profile. So I will have to say 10 minutes because I feel like 30 is too much. But I also know that the video that I uploaded was 8 minutes long, so it's definitely more than 5 or 3. So I'll shoot for 10.
Ding, 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 ding. You guys are starting off. You guys are doing real well.
I got lucky since I was doing this last week. Otherwise, I'd probably gotten this wrong.
Olivia, it is your turn. How many people can you tag in an Instagram post? 15, 20, 50, or as Mean Girls would say, the limit does not exist.
There's definitely a limit because social media, everything has a limit.
The limit does exist.
There is a limit. So I'm going to go 15. I'm going to go 15.
The answer is 20, but you were very close. So you get like, you get like a medium shoulder tap there. So Andreas,
I would have gotten that right.
My last question for you, Andreas, today is, well, not actually today, but in this segment of our gaming round is, how many hours do you think are uploaded to YouTube every minute? 350 hours, 500 hours, 1,000 hours, or 1,500 hours?
This is worldwide, correct?
Worldwide to YouTube.
1,000. There's way too many people in the world and way too many YouTubers, and not even YouTubers, way too many people trying to become YouTubers. I'm one of them. So I'm gonna
shameless plug.
I'm going to shoot for 1,000.
The answer is 500 hours. But again, you were pretty close. So a little shoulder tap.
Just 500 hours off, you know.
Okay, so Olivia, final question. Feel like you should know this one is, how many characters can a tweet be? 280, 140, 200, or 320?
280.
Ding, 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 ding.
That was an easy one. They recently changed that, didn't they?
Jessica's like slanging the answers too. You guys see this?
I know.
I definitely wish it was 500 characters on Twitter. I hate how it's just 280.
Okay, so my most important question before we get into the next segment, I do remember when it was 140, Jen, and that was like struggle bus city. You know, the 240 I think has been a game changer for so many marketers that have a little bit, so many marketers, brands, just humans, right? That 140 characters is super constricting. The struggle is real. So, Olivia, I have a super important question today. Do you happen to know whether today was a bones or a no bones day?
Yes. And because this live show's doing so well, I know what it is. But Andres, do you know what this is?
You know what this is, Andres?
I have no idea what bones or no bones is. So
Stop.
Please.
Okay.
Anyone? All right. The people in the comment actually know what bones or no bones is. I need to know this.
I'm going to tell you, Olivia, before you even tell us.
Does it have to do with KFC? Bones?
No.
You're looking good.
It has nothing to do with chicken. Bones or no bones, you guys. Olivia introduced me to Bones or No Bones, and my life is made because Bones or No Bones is essentially, there's a 13-year-old pug that is determining what kind of day we're going to have. That's essentially what it is. There's a TikToker. His name is John Grays. He holds his pug up named Noodle, and he sees whether it's going to be a bones or no bones day based on whether Noodle collapses right into his bed. If he collapses, it is a no bones day. And I really hope that today's a bones day because we're live. Like the energy feels like a bones day. So I need to know.
It was 100% a bones day. And this is also another famous TikToker that lives in the same like Rochester area. And they brought them on for bones or no bones day. And they were like encouraging Noodle. And I was like, it's a bones day.
Oh my God.
How did I not know about this? I spend so many hours on TikTok. I've never seen this.
Andres, you have to look it up. It is so funny because here's the best thing. And actually, here's the tip as it relates to social media, right? Is when you create something that is consistent and repeatable, people love it. And what's awesome is the way that every single bones or no bones video starts out is John says, welcome back to another round of no bones. Today we're going to find out whether my 13-year-old pug woke up with bones, and this will determine what kind of day we're going to have. And then it's Noodle, and he holds Noodle up, and it's like, it's that bingeable content, right? It's like you see one of them and you're like, now I need to watch another 20 bones or no bones. It is the greatest. So happy Bones Day, everybody. I am so happy it's a Bones Day. So
I love Jessica's comment. She was nervous about
Jessica, I got you. Have a little faith. Have a little faith. We're keeping this. This is a fun, educational, wholesome show. We're talking about Noodle a pug. Nothing wrong with that. So I want to get to know you guys a little because like I freaking love you guys, and I have some questions that like just came to me, and I'm like, you know what? This is a super fun way. Maybe you guys take these questions to your friends, your family. I love Jessica is cracking me up. I'm like trying to stay straight faced here. So Andres, my first question for you is I want to know what motivates you to work hard?
So I wake up every day, and what motivates me to work hard is my plans for the future. Like I want to have my own house. I want to start a family eventually, and everything I do at work, I have to apply it in life too, in terms of organization and communication. So I feel like to achieve this lifestyle that I want in the future, I need to work hard every minute of the day. So that's what motivates me to work hard. And I'm sure that's the motivation behind a lot of people, but that's just mine.
I love it. So I have two more questions for you, and then I'm going to let you ask Olivia some questions. Awesome. So my next question for you, Andres, is what's your favorite book?
Ooh, I like that question. And the book I'm about to say, if you have not read it, please read it. Buy it in Amazon, whatever you want to buy it. And the book is called Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willink, I think it is. He is an ex-Navy SEAL, and the book is about leadership, taking ownership of your actions, and how not literally everything is your fault, but instead of finding whose fault it is, finding solutions. And this is what this book is all about. There's a lot of great stories. It's a super interesting book. Extreme Ownership. Look it up.
Love it. Yeah, you guys let us know what is your favorite book in the comments below. And Andreas, my last question for you, super quick. What is your favorite season? And then you're going to pass it over to Olivia.
It has to be Christmas season. It's just perfect time of the year when you're just with your family, eating good food, nobody's worrying about diet. Everyone's just eating, singing, and dancing and getting gifts. So I'll have to go with Christmas.
That's amazing.
Everyone likes to eat. Who doesn't like to eat and dance? So yeah, family time, Christmas.
Love it. So Olivia, Andres has some questions for you.
Yes, Olivia. So I'm going to shoot it back to you with, I want to know what motivates you to work hard, because I know that yeah, like I already give my opinion, and I want to know what's your motivation behind all your spreadsheets and hard work you do.
So it's very similar to yours. So like the dreams that I have and who I want to provide for down the line, just and the dreams and goals I have for myself motivate me. So just kind of focus on that, get your hard work done. Love what you do. I love what I do. So that motivates me 100%. So I love my now family and I love now. Just motivations everywhere. Just happy vibes, happy life the rest of the life. So much.
Awesome. So my next question is, I know you are very family oriented. I know you have a great relationship with all your sisters and your mom and your dad. And I guess my next question will be, what's your ideal or what has been your favorite family trip or vacation?
Ooh, this is a good one because I feel like each year they get better and better as we go. So my favorite one would have to be the one we took this past year. We went to St. Pete in Florida, and the last time we were there, and we went with my aunt, my uncle, my two cousins, my other aunt and uncle. The last time we were all there together was 20 years ago, and my little sister wasn't even born. So we all went back and we all stayed together. And the best part is my cousin, he wasn't supposed to come on the trip, and we get to the hotel. He flew out of a different airport. He's sitting in the hotel lobby waiting for us to get there. So it was a whole family trip, and it was just like the perfect reset, recharge after 2020. So I just surprise relatives are the best.
So I have to know, do you make spreadsheets on the family vacation? Like, we're landing at this time, we're eating at this in this place at this time. Do you do that? Are you that person?
Well, I also want to be adopted by the Smiths. I'm trying to make my way into the Smith family. Like, I'm the reason why they got Blaze. I voted for the yellow puppy. I'm like, you guys want to adopt me? I can help you pick out puppies and stuff.
Everybody's adopted in the Smith family. We need to have like extended Smith family holidays celebration. But oh God, I'm going to expose myself here again. I did not make a spreadsheet for this trip, but we have a trip coming up in April that I have a spreadsheet.
Of course you do.
It's planning purposes. You got to see hotels and things.
Oh, gotta love it.
Nerdication.
It helps organize your thoughts. There's columns. It's beautiful. Color coordination.
I'm gonna hire you for my next vacation to make a spreadsheet for like my schedule of what I'm doing per day. All right, my last question, so we can keep moving on the show. It's, what is your favorite season of the year? Now, I mentioned Christmas. What's yours?
Okay, I'm gonna be basic. I'm gonna say fall. I love the fall season. Just because you're winding down from summer, you don't have you have commitments, but it's still like relaxing. I feel like summer, you're like, go, 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 go. Make the most of like the heat and everything. But fall, you still get to do it and relax. And then you end with Thanksgiving, which has those mashed potatoes again. We love it. We love dinner rolls, all of it.
We love food in general.
Yeah. There's football during fall. It's fantastic. The Browns are going to the Super Bowl. It's great. Go Brownies. So, I'm a basic. Awesome. I'm a basic fall.
And I actually Googled the other day, like, what's the perfect time of the year to visit Ohio, because I want to make a trip again to Ohio and visit everyone. And it said the fall season was the best time of the year. And I guess that's right. Like, everything you mentioned is accurate. The weather is perfect. It's like, wear hoodies, not too hot, not too cold. So definitely, I love that answer. So I think those are all my questions for you for today. And I think, Julia, are we giving out anything this week?
This week, we are actually going to be giving away we're not giving anything away today. We're going to give it away on our next episode, but you can enter it today. We are going to be giving away a ring light. So all you got to do is be engaged. We want you to comment. We want to know, what topics do you guys want to see us talk about? Let us know, because you might end up winning a ring light, which is going to help you to really amp up your social media game. You know, you need the ring light for the good lighting.
Yeah, for those that did not know, like, this is ring light, this is no ring light. How ugly is that? No ring light, ring light, no ring light. ring light. So
You need a ring
make
light.
sure you win your ring light is necessary for everything you do, especially if you're in the social media industry.
Or you're like,
Absolutely.
or you have to pull a me and put your X stand up on the top level of your desk and then pull up a white screen on your personal laptop to make the lighting situation look like this. So get the ring light.
We do what we got to do. Sometimes you make creative rigs as a social media marketer, right? That's part of the job, right? You are doing it as you go. So before we're coming up on an hour, guys, this has been so much fun. And before we let you guys know what we have planned for next month, we're circling back, Andreas, because you said you had a piece of gold, a little Jessica Phillips nugget that you wanted to share with the audience. So I'm going to let you go first. And then, Olivia, I want you to share your final takeaway with our audience.
So yeah, I'm going to take the time to just do two if we have plenty of time left. But my first tip, it'll be quick. Just never stop learning. Learn as much content as you can. But the tip that Jessica gave me is to not focus only on one platform. Most brands have several platforms, and you should be keeping all of them updated, engaged in all of them, not just Facebook. And this is where a lot of social media managers get it wrong, to focus on just one social media platform. And I think this tip has helped me enough. And if you really think about it, the most important social media platform that you should keep updated is Google. I don't know how many times I find a business on Google and I go visit the location, and guess what? They don't have their hours updated. I get mad. They're closed as I get there when it said they were open online. And yeah,
That's a huge point,
Yeah.
Andreas. I'm going to quickly interject because you guys, we had Byron Ingraham on Magnet Marketers just the other week. So we actually have a blog post on our Now site that is all about Google and why, literally exactly what Andreas said, keeping your Google My Business profile updated is honestly maybe even more important than updating your Facebook page. So keep going, Andreas. I just wanted everyone to know that they can get all of those little nitty-gritty deets in our blog.
Yeah, that was it. Like, a lot of people just focus on Facebook because it's what probably gives you the biggest engagement number. But in reality, you should focus on all of them because customers are everywhere, not just Facebook. So that's a big tip that Jessica gave me once, and I'm never actually going to forget about it. And I tell it to everyone asking me, like, hey, how should I manage my social media? I'm like, well, start by Google. Like, get your business on Google, and then you can move on. So that's my tip.
I love it. So Olivia, what is your final piece of advice?
So my final piece of advice would have to be never stop learning. There's new things that are coming out. I know Google just dropped their like local listing where it's benefiting like small businesses and communities versus like bigger brands. So always getting that information. I know on our team calls we have on Monday, somebody highlights ad updates, somebody highlights web updates, somebody highlights social updates. Just always stay informed and like best practices for everything. I know Andreas talked about Google. Make sure your page is search friendly. Make sure SEO is engaged. Everything needs to follow the guidelines that is happening. And I know one source that does a great job of like updating daily is Social Media Today. It's an email that comes in every afternoon for me, every day of different trends that are happening because everybody has different things they think coming into the social media landscape, but it's not. It's one space, one device. So again, never stop learning and join the groups, network, build your community out. That's my number ones.
Right.
Yes. Oh, I love this. You guys have shared so much value with us, and I am so appreciative of that. You guys, we are going to be recapping all of these tips, takeaways, tools, best practices. We're going to have it all in our blog, and we are going to publish that next week. So be sure to type the word recap in the comments so that you can be subscribed to our blog so you don't miss out. And we have a super, super exciting guest on our show for next month. So we want you to stay tuned and mark your calendar because we have Mitch Jackson joining us, and we are going to be diving into the topic of digital detention. It's not just Facebook you should worry about. There are rules, restrictions, regulations that apply to social media and brand managers across industries, and it is super important that you know about them. So mark your calendar for December 2nd at 3:30 p.m. Andreas and I will be interviewing Mitch Jackson and diving into that. So be sure to mark your calendar for December 2nd. And thanks so much for tuning in, guys. Have a good one.
Bye.